Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? I recently talked about Jupiter and Taurus and how Jupiter is the strategist currently going direct. Now we have the commander, the general-in-chief, who's actually on the battlefield, and that is Mars in his exaltation sign. So on this particular video, I'm going to give the forecast for all 12 Zodiac signs, okay, Aries through Pisces, the house that they're talking about, as well as the rulership, because it really worked well. People really loved it, and I want to focus on doing this style a little bit more. That said, we now have the strategist, Jupiter, who is the minister, who is the priest, who is the, warlord general who advises the king or the queen as for what is smart, what's strategic, what the prayers and the gods and the stars, aka astrology, is telling the warrior to do. Okay? That will work well for their spiritual and beneficial enhancements. Now, when I say spiritual and beneficial, understand that Mars just left Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is considered a Sattvic planet. Okay, what I mean by that is godly, heavenly, pure, devout. But now we're moving into a Tamasic sign like Capricorn, who is, depending on the stage, lazy, inert, eats a lot of meat being muscle, so it's very strong. It's very sturdy, but it also is very slow. It also falls for flattery. It falls for praise and recognition. It falls for the material realm. But we have this now in the exalted sign of Mars, who is the general, the person who doesn't want to be fed, who wants to go out and kill their own animal, kill for their own meat, go and scavenge for their own fruits and vegetables. A very protective sign in the family. Someone who would literally commit a crime of passion if they understood harm would come. So we must understand that during this time frame, as we get into the 12 forecast, some of the properties of Mars. Mars is violent. Mars is out here to go get it. Mars doesn't like to listen, but it is very disciplined, and it will listen to the king. The king is the sun. And the sun is currently also in Capricorn. So essentially Capricorn is here to listen to itself. Now this is something interesting to think about as I take a look and see what rulership Capricorn actually has in the sun. Give me a moment. Okay, so I got everything I needed. The Capricorn in the sun, okay, the ruler is ruled by the 8th house. So we really need to understand that this is a house of loss, sacrifice, sudden and abrupt changes. So do expect that some of this will happen during this Mars and Capricorn transit. There will be sudden and abrupt changes. Now, what these sudden and abrupt changes are about is the fact that for the last 15 years, Capricorn has been in Pluto. Pluto has been in Capricorn at the higher octave of Mars, the more intimate and pure form of Martian energy. So power struggles have been basically ripping apart what is not true and authentic, because Capricorn is still a feminine sign, and feminine energy is about authenticity. What is true and inauthentic? What is actually authentic? And how have we been manipulating, whether ourselves, our career, the image, the people that we work with, or even the vision of what we tell ourselves we do in society versus what we actually do in society, for society, as a civil servant. Because Capricorn energy is, and by Saturn, by default, a civil servant type energy who wants to free the people, but while still following a disciplined law. And that's why Capricorn exalts in Mars, because Capricorn is about discipline and Mars is about discipline. But Mars is about discipline only to the king. It does not listen to anybody else but the king, which is the sun. So the irony is, this is about it saying, it listening to itself. Mars in Capricorn, the sun is in Capricorn. So without further ado, I want to have you go ahead and hit the thumbs up and the likes button. This is my little insight on Mars and Capricorn. I also want to say, go ahead and take the time to wear copper during this season. So I plan on putting 444 on screen, a little bit of insight on what copper can do for you. It's a very protective agent, but also really helps with initiative. Mars is initiative type energy. Like I said, Mars wants to go out and kill for his own food, doesn't want to be given food. All right. So when you talk about your vocation, you talk about your career and the strategy that you should go ahead and look at, aka while it's in Jupiter and Taurus, What's magical is we have a guide, and it's going to happen around 5 degrees of Mars in Capricorn. Look for this to happen around January 11th. And this is when you're going to get the very clear strategy of, okay, hey, look, this is my spiritual advisor telling me to do X, Y, and Z. Now, why this matters is, without this spiritual advisor, Capricorn is a Tamasic planet. It is here on Earth, okay? It is going to go ahead and get what it wants by any means necessary. It's not kind. So unless it was conjunct things like Venus, for example, where things can get more harmonious and, you know, you can go ahead and get your desires in a way that is still honoring the demon realm and also honoring what could be considered moksha or enlightenment, if you will. Now, it does well. But it also could be something where you want to be very mindful of. It could be very passionate in its sexual endeavors where you want to be very dominant and controlling. So be mindful if you're finding yourself in an abusive relationship during this time frame to go ahead and say something out loud and realize that there is one thing of being passionate in your sexual encounters and relationships, and there's something entirely different to be dominating somebody against their will or manipulating them by having the money to give them and that's what they want, or the Gucci bags and you know, the name brands. Be very careful of selling your body for name, fame, glory, and any external factors, because Capricorn is very susceptible to all external forms of appreciation and beyond. And now Mars is a person that doesn't really think very well. So do listen to your spiritual advisor, being Jupiter and Taurus. Check out my video for all the signs and you'll get a better insight on that. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Our memberships are meeting again this Sunday coming up, first one of the year, January 7th. So that's really dope. We'll meet again January 21st. Beyond that, more applications been coming in for the 8-week Sacred Reality. If you want to be an entrepreneur, this is the type of energy right here. Capricorn really does well when it has mentors. Capricorn does well when it has people that it looks up to. Because Capricorn is an energy that will always have a subordinate of somehow, some way, but they oftentimes abuse or misuse those subordinates when they don't have positive mentors. Because again, like I said, Capricorn is the big boss, but it's the big boss in the sense where it's still a servant to a higher power. And that higher power is society. It is a vocation that gives into the world. So this is my first little intro into Mars and everything that I feel like we needed to know. Now let's get into where you are going to be feeling very, very powerful, very driven, not going to think much, potentially materialistic, but also a master of all the elements, earth, wind, fire, air, because Capricorn is the shaman. It's the shaman specifically of right-handed people, right-handed shamans more specific. Mars can represent your younger brother, especially the second younger brother. It also could represent your husband for females charts, but I would say your husband behind Jupiter. So understand it comes behind Jupiter. Jupiter would be first indicator. Like I said, the advisor is Jupiter and Taurus right now. And then the second indicator of, you know, your husband's drive and what you'll be attracted to when it comes to assertiveness will be in the Mars placement. So let's get into the forecast for each zodiac sign. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. This is your Astro Shaman Pernell Bobby. We're generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology under a Vedic lens. So let's get deep and let's dig deep. All right, and give you the forecast for Aries. Okay, Aries, you've been undergoing a psychological transformation. You've been asserting yourself into this brand new identity. You've been in a lot of psychological thoughts that have plagued you, in all sincerity. Around January 11th, you're going to have your strategist, your minister, your priest, which is Jupiter and Taurus transiting your second house. It's in the current motion of moving direct. So this is great when it comes to really looking at what's solid, what's tangible in your life. And when I say what's solid, what's tangible, it's coming from the intangible space. It's coming from your meditations. It's coming from your time in isolation. It's coming from you getting more in tune with, you know, what are your spiritual beliefs? What are your universal beliefs? All right, that's separate from just yourself, that you've been called to serve at a higher level, right? That's what the minister is telling you. And you're going to get very, very clear about these things around the 11th of January. Okay. And that's when Mars and Capricorn will trine Jupiter and Taurus. So Mars and Capricorn is running you through your 10th house. This is every time you step outside your house and you're in the public space. Right now, I'm in the park. This is the 10th house. Who am I out in public, right? And so Literally, like I said, Jupiter is running your 9th house and your 12th house as a ruler, okay? By the time I put this video out, it becomes a physical, tangible product, right? That's pretty much there forever. Second house, the things that's there forever. That's what Taurus is transiting, your second house. Something that lasts forever, something that's sustainable. The 9th house is me publishing something. So this is a prime example, right? I'm outside the house. I'm publishing something that means something very near and dear to me. It's a deeper commitment. And when I look at this, me as an Aries, for example, I used to never want to, I was lazy. Second house is very lazy. I was lazy on doing a 12 forecast. I'm like, man, I don't want to do this, but it's something bigger than me. And I'm starting to find myself really enjoying it. And I had to dig into the psychological understandings of my subconscious layer of like, well, what made me feel so lazy about that? And it's just about us coming now into an understanding of that, Aries. Mars is run through your 10th house. So this is where you're being asked to be a warrior every time you step outside the house. Be a warrior and be direct. Stop thinking so much. You feel that excitement, you feel that joy. Do exactly that, right? I was outside the house earlier today and I started talking to random people and I'm like, I'm not always doing that when I'm going outside. Usually I'm so focused and feel so driven on work and what I want to do that I forget that I'm doing it for the people, for the collective, for society. So Aries, this is what this looks like. Now it's like, how can you share your energy when you go out in public? How can you share your talents? How can you share what makes you bright? And essentially, what you're going to actually do is you're going to gain money from this somehow, some way. And here's a prime example. I helped somebody today and I got a free sandwich. And they had two seemingly completely not connected events, but yet and still, that after I helped that person, just out of the goodness of my own heart, it was supported. Now, around January 31st, Aries, you're going to have this Mars in Capricorn, the Mars in general, squaring the nodes, okay, at about 20 degrees. So this is, where major death is going to happen. You're going to be asked to mature at a whole new level. You're going to be asked to let go of likely more relationships that are superficial if they still exist, and essentially follow your personal satisfactions. Be more willing to do what brings you light in life. I see 333 on screen, and that's your report, Aries. All right, Taurus, you're going through the 9th house, baby. This is Mars running through your 9th house. This is a sister house to yours, being Capricorn, Mars in the 9th. Now, the ruler is the 12th and the 7th. So what you're going to find, Taurus, is that you've faced a lot of projections. And those projections have been doing their best to show you what are your universal truths. They're doing your best to show you what do you need to do in order to get more in tune with your intuition, more in tune with your psychic abilities. You have the ability, Taurus, to see. But as an earth sign, sometimes you try to ignore these innate talents, these innate psychic and mediumship type shamanic abilities and talents. You have this, and now Mars is going to make you start publishing this, okay? Now, what needed to happen first was your strategist, your priest, your minister, which is Jupiter, and your own sign of Taurus, has been revamping your identity, allowing you to be a little bit more assertive. In what realms? Again, assertive in the realms of when you take your isolation and reflect on the projections, what do they show you? And how can you then turn that into a philosophy that you start pushing outwards, start using to support other people, and essentially not to do it for your own selfish needs, but for the needs of people outside of you in the collective. When you step away from a little bit of this Vajasic nature, what's going to happen is this very potent sexual energy is going to work up your spine and essentially go straight to the third eye and even to the crown and beyond. And you'll start finding a sense of abundance that's way more than the material realm, and you're going to benefit tremendously from this. All right. All right, Gemini, you're being asked to step very deeply and authentically into what you are obsessed with, like absolutely obsessed with, like not because, and I see 4 green birds roll by, right? You're in a very private space right now. It would do you some justice to step away from the public eye, to step deeper into your own forms of isolation and needs. I'm seeing 555 on screen. I actually had to record this twice, maybe just to get you this proper message. The minister, the priest, the strategist, Jupiter, which is currently in Taurus, is asking you to specifically, Gemini, Understand where you've been lacking integrity in your relationships, and you're just progressing your career because you believed something. You believed it was going to make you money. You believed it was going to get you further. You believed that the numbers actually reflected, you know, your personal truth. And the reality is, like, you're being asked to step into something more intimate. You're being asked to really find what's pure in your heart, really find what's authentic, and be a little bit savage when it comes to pursuing these particular obsessions, whatever it is. Something when it comes to your large groups and networks, the work you do on a regular, you know how to advance. You know how to be smart, logical, and strategic. But again, from the mind. And the mind, in a sense, is not in charge when it comes to working from the higher octaves. It's time to basically start utilizing your sexual energy, and instead of pushing it down into the lower chakras, start to try to move that up into your heart space and allow it to open up and just feel the frequency of the heart and the needs for cooperation, the needs for cooperation and love for yourself and for your own passions, but also and with your peers in your workspace, in the large groups and networks. You have dreams and aspirations that are really worth taking more time to be honest and pursue exactly that, Gemini. All right, Cancer, if you got a partner, if you're married to somebody, if you got a lover, I can expect some hot and heavy sex. You might be feeling a little extra horny during this time. How you decide to use that horniness, in all sincerity, I recommend, well, it depends. If you're a male and you're over the age of 30, I'm going to say every 8 days. If you're under the age, if you're between the ages of like 20 to 28, I'm going to say, you know, every like 4 days or so, you can actually have an orgasm. And now this is if you're a male. If you're a female, that doesn't apply so much. If you're older than that, if you're in your 40s, I'm going to really say more like, I'm lying. I reversed those numbers. My bad. If you're between 30 to 40, about every 8 days, you can have an actual ejaculation. If you're over 40, you want to go from 40 to 50, you know, I always even say 40 to 45, about every 12 days or so. But if you are younger, you can ejaculate every 4 days or so. So I think I might have said that right. Forgive me, y'all. Now, if you're a female, again, like I said, this doesn't apply. But this is high sex level energy if you're Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. Outside of that, what you may be mistaking some of the sexual energy for is your desire to climb the social ladder, right? Like right now you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity, Cancer, to be real with your real aspirations. You know, your work is getting ready to change. The ruler of your 6th and your 9th house is Jupiter. And so around January 11th, the priest, the minister, the strategist, the spiritual advisor is advising you to change up your schedule, change up where you go, change up how you do it, change up when you do it. Start putting yourself in different thought patterns. That may be having to change your routine, go to bed earlier, turn your phone off, start exercising at a different time, start exercising maybe even at all. And what it's going to do is actually going to start to open up your third eye a little bit. It's going to start to open up your ability to see your truth, your ability to, in a sense, like, put yourself around people that are healthier for you. I just met a Cancer rising, for example, and like I seen it, like it's time for her to get around new friendships. You're running through you're transiting your 7th house, Cancer, and you know your integrity is going to be challenged in your relationships. Are you around the people that you should really be around, or you're around them because they provide you a certain sense of safety, luxury, familiarity, but overall you're married to people, places, things, foods that ultimately are not allowing you to step into what could be considered your vocation. Your vocation is Mars and Capricorn. Vocation meaning something that's not just a job, but, you know, a life path that you take, that you live, that you breathe and die by, that you feel like every day you can wake up and go to war for this. You can leave your house and your comfort zone just to do this thing. If something's not firing you in the ass just like that, then likely it's some level of superficial. So go ahead and get out there. Because Mars is running your 10th house and your 5th house. So again, this is a lot of sexual energy. There's a lot of ability to take risk, to use social media in a way that the people you've been reflecting, or the people that has been projected onto you, or the people that annoy you, because of their projections, is trying to show you what is true to you and try to show you, you know, who you really are outside the house when you step out of your privacy, Cancer. All right? I love you. Okay, Leo, it's enemy season. I'm going to tell you flat out. Mars is in Capricorn running through your 6th house. And this is the house of enemies. This is the house of people that you work with. And people you work with are also your enemies. There's a lot of envy. There's a lot of, you know, shaming and you know, playing victim and getting you to potentially do more work because, you know, you're so amazing. And that's just like the manipulation. Be mindful, Leo. Now, if you're a creative Leo, which you probably are, if you're an entrepreneur, you're out here taking risks, you know, you're running something for yourself, what you're publishing will create and attract enemies. Okay. Yes, what you're publishing will create and attract enemies, and they will likely stay private. They will likely stay behind the scenes, Leo. But you'll be able to tell who and act and respond appropriately without hate, without getting too caught in the nonsense narratives, and actually make those enemies start to turn around and work for you. But the only way you're going to do that is to actually meditate. You're going to have to take time in nature by yourself, take it easy, chill, and then realize, okay, boom, you know, Sarah is my enemy. I recognize that she's been playing mind games with me. Okay, great. How can I get Sarah to essentially, you know, work for me and do it while still maintaining my own mental peace? This is going to be something that Capricorn, you can turn these people into your subordinates. You could turn them into your workforce, literally, and work smart. So what's not smart is to go ahead and then go eye for eye and attack them. Now, around January 11th, your strategist, Jupiter, your priest, your minister, your spiritual advisor, is going to tell you exactly what to do and for your work, exactly what to do for your vocation, exactly what to do for society as a servant when it comes to being a creator and how you use your sexual energy in your workforce. Okay, Jupiter is ruling your 5th and your 8th house. Check out the forecast and you'll get deeper in that. But ultimately, you know, how you gain name, fame, and reputation, you'll have around January 11th. So stay very tuned and you'll know what to do for work and how to do it. Now, around the 31st of January, you're going to have a square between the North Node and the South Node on this Martian energy. And around that time frame is really when you're going to be asked to let go some people. You're going to be asked to pursue, you know, what's necessary for you. What are you going to be asked to pursue? I don't have that answer right now, so I'm not going to lie to you. All right, Leo, that's what I got for you. You're going to have to pursue something. But beyond that, you got your report. Okay, Virgo, here's what I got for you. You're being asked to take a risk. You're being asked to use social media in a way that is a little bit more pure, in a way that, you know, you can rise above the hate. You can rise above, you know, what people are saying behind your back. You hear it. It's okay. It's cool. But at the end of the day, Virgo, you're here to be a servant. You're here to be graceful. You're here to be somebody who reverse engineers exactly that hate and be humble and realize that through your humility, you do not have to fall into the shame narrative. You know, somewhere along the way, you've discovered in your psyche that what you're shameful, what you feel ashamed of, what somebody made you feel bad about. And somewhere it became this little parasite in your mind and it's holding you back. But right now, this is a transit of light. This is a transit of ambition coming to the surface and making you shine from the heart space outwards. Okay, key word is from the heart space outward. And around January 11th, you're going to have your spiritual advisor, your guru, your minister, your priest tell you, Virgo, exactly what to publish, exactly what to produce, exactly who you're going to have a third eye vision on. Who are these people that are lacking integrity? You're going to know what to do exactly with the people lacking integrity. You're going to be informed of how you lacked integrity at certain standpoints while you were in the process of being an intern, being a student of life, being somebody who has this voracious, you know, unsatisfiable quench and thirst for truth, for investigation, for enlightenment, to essentially be the student that turns into the absolute master. Okay, so Virgo, this is what I got for you. All right, and this transit, remember this, you are the light. You are a beaming light, and what makes you that way is because you are the hermit and you take the time to sit on top of cosmic wisdom, cosmic knowledge, and you can actually manipulate and manifest that into this material world. So don't forget that you are the light, Virgo. Libra, you might be going through some fights in the home, fights with your lover, fights with your foundational, your foundational understanding that has been created through ideals within the family dynamic, Libra. Mars is ruling your 4th house, okay? The house of the homeland, the house of meditation, the house of privacy. Everything that attacks your privacy, everything that does not allow you to rest, any relationships with other people that don't allow you to have rest, emotional rest, okay, where you're not having to be the one that people dump on you. Put yourself around people that do not emotionally dump on you, Libra. All right? Be a warrior. Step the hell up, okay? Stop allowing people to push to the side. I had to get that anger out for you. January 31st, the nodes, South Node, North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra will square Mars and Capricorn. Now, when these nodes square January 31st, you're going to be asked to let go of everybody that does not allow you a sense of emotional rest and emotional peace, okay? Especially within the home. If you have somebody violating your home, you have a mom, a dad, somebody just burst into your home without permission, you know, you ask your partner or your lover who's in your house, you know, for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and they can't give it to you, you might have to reconsider what's going on. You might have to let them go. You might have to choose personal joy. All right, Libra? Now, around January 11th, your spiritual advisor, your minister, your priest is going to very clearly show you your psychological motivation behind why you have allowed this to happen so far and thus far. Now Jupiter is moving direct. It's going to be here to free you and liberate you, potentially through some tough lessons at a mental level. As you change your schedule, you change your routine, you start exercising, it's time to move your body. I'm telling you right now, it's time to do more breath work. You're going to need it. Your Jupiter's ruling your 3rd house and your 6th house. This is the mind and this is the breath. This is the lungs. So right now, the lungs can hold sadness and depression. I want you to put your hands on your chest. I want you to, from your hands, feel electricity, feel energy. Now, brighten and whiten your lungs. I want you to visualize and picture a picture of your lungs. See the shape of the lungs, okay? Now, make this whiter and whiter and whiter. Okay, now, I want you to use your eyes and look to the left lung, look to the right lung, look to the left lung, look to the right lung. Find the sadness and find the depression that has been caused to you. Okay, by being overly supportive, by being there more than you actually can afford to be. Boom. Now say delete, 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 left, right, everywhere. Delete. Oh, left side. I got one in the left, bottom left. Delete. Oh, yeah, close to the heart. Wow, I'm feeling it heavy, Libra. Delete. Okay, it's done, Libra. This is your transit and your forecast. I want you to try that and try that again. That's all you needed. That's all you needed. That's what your spiritual advisor, your minister, your priest is telling you to do to clear away the traumas of sadness that you have created and the emotions that have been stuck in your body, the emotions that have been stuck in your body causing a mental illness somehow, some way. Get it out of you, Libra. 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 All right, that's what I got for you. Scorpio, you're going to be pushing with a vigor right now. You have warrior-like energy when it comes to your social media content. If you're a social media creator, whether in the spaces of astrology, cosmetology, okay, you're doing adoption animals, whatever your channel you're doing, sports, whatever the channel you're doing, luxury, it doesn't matter. First off, it has to be for a higher calling. It has to be for you to be a civil servant to your social peers where your heart is open. Now that's step 1 that I got for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Now the ruler of Mars is your 6th house and your 1st house, okay? So I'm getting that you need to take care of your physical body, without a doubt. Your nervous system right now needs some replenishment, but you might be putting it in overdrive. You have a lot of passion, a lot of focus. Pluto and Capricorn has been in for 15 years and is getting ready to leave. So you found the power struggles within your coworkers, within how you deal with your enemies that are not necessarily open yet, but they're somewhere within your psyche. They're somewhere within your mind. They're somewhere within your nervous system, and they've been plaguing you somehow, some way. I'm getting shooting nerves somewhere in the body. I'm getting lower back, maybe upper neck. Why? Because you're also transiting the 2nd house, which is Taurus. Taurus is the neck. So if you can go ahead and work through some of this, through some physical activity, some exercise, you have a lot of stuck and trapped emotions in the body. And I think a lot of it has been coming now from overthinking, okay? The 11th of January, your spiritual mentor, your spiritual advisor is telling you exactly how to deal with your open enemies. Wow, look at that. So now you have some open enemies that have been challenging your integrity, but they've only done that in order for you to expand, to become more solid within your self-worth, within your self-esteem. This is still a little bit of leakage that you've been holding on to while the South Node was in Scorpio. A little bit of that past life trauma and karma over the year and a half that you picked up in your intimate relationships. So right now, it's time to expand above and beyond that, okay? And if and when you do, when you get these emotions that are trapped in your body out, you're going to feel very light. You're going to feel very, very light. You're going to feel bright. You're going to be feeling like taking new risks. You're going to be feeling way more sexual. One of the positive feminine emotions is feeling sexual, feeling willing to love, okay? You're going to be feeling more willing to love. You're going to be feeling more willing to open your heart up, Scorpio. You're going to be feeling more willing. I'm getting green dragons everywhere. Literally, they're all around me. You see them right now. Green dragons are here to help you through the trapped energies that have been in your body. Join my membership, Scorpios. We're meeting again Sunday. We're doing Qigong and we're working with organs. Libra was having some trouble with their lungs. We're going to be working through the lungs. We're going to work through the kidneys. The kidneys can hold traumas and fears. The neck can be holding a little bit too much weight from holding on, carrying the burdens of other people. So Scorpio, this is a little bit of what I got from you. Join our membership. We'll help you work out those emotions that have been trapped in the body and physically do some choo, hoo, choo, hoo, choo, hoo. So those are the sounds that are particularly linked. Taurus is the throat. And if you know the right sounds and where to press on the pancreas, you can get these emotions out of the body. Yes, Scorpio, you have too much in the mind. You have too much in the mind. When you work through those minds, when you do some Qigong, you join our membership, you're going to be shining bright like a diamond and your bank about to blow the fuck up. Yo, hold on. Let me make sure I can confirm and say that. Yes, your bank is about to blow the fuck up, but it's going to happen because you're making relationships that are full of integrity. That's the key. You're coming on new relationships around January 31st. You're going to be asked to let go of these non-integral relationships if you have not done so prior. And when you do, your bank about to blow up. Swear to God, you're going to take a new risk on new relationships and your bank, money on the flow, pick it up because it's raining down on your ass. Yes, Scorpio. I felt that after we got that energy out. Boom, love. All right, Sagittarius, you're one of the ones that's out here getting some chicken, baby. All right, Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising, you're getting some chicken, baby. And even if you're not getting chicken today, right now at this moment, you are making a plan. You are being methodical about how the chicken's going to go ahead and come in a sustainable way. Now, I'm going to tell you how you're going to get that chicken in the right way. One, you're going to need to take some new risk. So, Sag, we know you like taking risks. You're going to need to take some new risk, potentially a journey, a voyage, but really a new risk. And secondly, you're going to need to eat a little less heavy meat, like red meat right now. Eat a little less, eat a little lighter. Eat more foods that are just uncooked, and I promise it's going to help you out. You'll know why later. Eat more earthly foods, more foods that are less processed right now. Your Mars, the general on the battlefield, is going to war for you with the collective. Now, it's transiting your second house of the physical body, all right? The neck, the throat chakra, your manifestation abilities, but the ruler is your 5th and the 12th house. So every action you take towards your career right now, it needs to be for a universal cause. It needs to be something that is attacking this spiritual cause. You know, attack only the spirit. And when I say attack, I mean produce from the soul. Produce from the soul. Produce from the soul. All right? Don't produce from the physical world. Don't just go get a job thinking that's how you... No. You've gone in. You've been reborn with your identity while the Sag has been there prior. Now that you went through that rebirth, it's time to stabilize. It's time to do things like what we're doing in our membership, like Qigong. It's time to do things like breath work. There's some stuff trapped in your body. It's residuals. January 11th, your minister is telling you your mind. Okay? Your mind, your nervous system. You have to remember that your mind works for you. You don't work for your mind. Your mind works for you. You don't work for your mind, Sagittarius. All right. Jupiter rules your first and your fourth house. So you've gone through the rebirth and a brand new identity. You're being more assertive with what you feel emotionally charged by. And that's going to be the right place. What emotionally charges you, not mentally. What mentally charges you is just how you organize the emotional charge. Sagittarius, you need to exercise. And I'm talking like more explosive stuff. The winter has kind of slowed you down a little bit. Time to do like 20 to 30 minute HIIT type workouts, high intensity timed intervals. You know, 1 minute on, 30 seconds off, 1 minute hard work, 30 seconds breathe. Do some of that and you're going to get the chicken. You get the money coming in. It's just, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here. Follow the emotional charge. Do something that's universally strong and powerful from you. Wear some copper. Hey, Capricorn, you the star of the show, baby. Mars and Capricorn. Mars and Capricorn is in your first house, okay? It's time to be the motherfucking warrior. You are coming out of a slumber, all right? You're coming out of the hibernating bear type energy, and physical movement is the name of the game. I need you to start off with something soft and simple, like taking a walk, and maybe make that walk a little bit faster than a lazy walk, okay? This isn't necessarily the meditative walk. This is the walk to get your body and your knees moving. Walking is one of the best things you could do for your knees. You've been supporting people. You've been supporting too many people. And it's time to be the warrior. Now you're a priest. You're a spiritual advisor. Your minister is telling you to take more risk, to honor yourself, to look at your self-esteem, and be very, very courageous. In what particular area of life? Be courageous with your dreams. Be courageous with what your time in isolation has showed you. Be courageous with your thoughts that are only your thoughts, the things that you think are going to be supportive for the collective and the collective unconscious, for what your dreams have revealed for you, Capricorn. You need to be strong within that and for that only. And as you do that, Cap, what you got coming for you is some high speculative gains. Now, when I say speculative gains, I'm saying like it's time to take a risk in your entrepreneurship. For you, what I'm getting, Cap, as you step into your first house, Mars in your sign, is join and check out our free registration for our 8-week Sacred Innovator reality. We're primarily looking at entrepreneurs, people who want to be and are aspiring in entrepreneurial space. You have a concept, you have an idea, you have a dream that is here to be above yourself, here to be in service, here to be of innovation. So this is working well for you. Check that out. We start in the spring equinox time. By then you'll be full cylinder. Okay? Especially when you get through January, February, you're going to be smacking right around the time of March in your third house. So Cap, you're the star of the show. You're the warrior, you're the general. Now the key thing is around January 31st, you're going to have Mars in Capricorn square the nodes, the south node and the north node. So what that looks like is a highly advantageous maturation point in your relationships, how you support what you need for yourself, especially because Jupiter is the ruler of your fourth house and your first house. This is your own emotional health. Can you support your own emotional well-being as well as your personal satisfactions and joys? Can you do that? Will you do that? If you don't, it's going to be a little tougher for you during that time. If you do, ooh, you're going to benefit well, baby. You're going to come into something brand new. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be beautiful. And right now, you have a ton of energy. Mars exalted in your sign. And Mars also rules your 11th house and your 4th house. So what this looks like is take some time away and then punch that thing home. Be like, look, this is who I am. I'm the boss. I'm a civil servant. I'm the boss, but I'm a civil servant. I'm here to carry out my karmic duties for the masses while also respecting my personal aspirations, because my personal aspirations are for the masses. And that's how you win, Cap. All right, Aquarius, here we go, baby. You're running through a 12th house transit during this Mars and Capricorn. Mars running through your 12th house. So it's asking you to do some introspections without a doubt. Now on what exactly? On your career, where your career is going, how you're going to use the media for your career, what are the social peers that match for a collective purpose and cause that actually, you know, frees the people from a vocational standpoint. So prime example we have is the 8-week Sacred Innovators reality that we got coming up, for example. It's like we're looking to free the people within their vocation. Vocation not being a career, but what you do, who you are in public, that essentially serves humanity, that serves people for more than for just themselves, where they do benefit. They do become known and reputable in the best of a certain field. Aquarius, In order to do that, you have to let go of what you once had high accolades in. You had high accolades in something. Okay, now this January 11th, your minister, your spiritual advisor, your guru, your priest is advising you, your strategist. Here's the strategy. January 11th, you have the strategy. Your strategist is telling you to, again, take care of your emotional health. So for me right now, this looks like join our membership for something like this, where we're doing breath work, we're doing Qigong, we're doing spiritual accountability within a group, within a tribe. We're starting off this Sunday again. And what is going on is, Aquarius, you're not really well, you don't do well with managing your emotions and getting them to meet the proper rest, recuperation, and peace. Because your nervous system is so active. But for example, the kidneys carries trauma. The kidneys carry past pains. There are specific noises that you can do and make and ways that you can delete that energy out of your physical body from the spirit level, right? Things like this in your 4th house transit, that's what your minister or your spiritual advisor is advising you. Whether you do that or not, that's up to you, but it's going to be what's best for you. Now, Mars in your 12th house, again, you know, it's time to, in your dream world, find the career that really, really matters. So you're going to be asked to actually take the time to spend in nature, take the time to find a source of water, an ocean, a river, get in it, wet your knees, do a forgiveness ritual in the water, a pond, a river, allow it to wash and cleanse away, a waterfall. I'm finding water, water, water for you. You find water, you find peace, and you find not just peace, but enlightenment on what is your next career endeavor, okay? How will you push out and what will you speak about that actually has meaning? All right, Aqua, I'll see you soon, baby. Okay, Pisces, you're at the height of your gains. You're at the height of your accolades. Mars is transiting your 11th house. Now you have the 11th house, Capricorn. Mars and Capricorn loves the 11th house, okay? It's like, because Cap is working in the 10th house, but the 11th house is where Cap actually gets its real recognition once it deals with the public and the enemies that it meets in the public. So you met enemies. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Mars is running your 2nd house and your 9th house. So if you're working with them and seeing them with your 3rd eye, not these 2 physical eyes, but seeing them with your 3rd eye, as for how do I deal with this from an intuitive standpoint, you go ahead, 2nd house, you making something, your self-esteem is becoming very un-F-wittable, okay? Your sense of worth is very un-F-wittable if you work and operate from that 9th house. Now, if you don't, then, you know, they could swallow you whole. You could become very violent. You could become somebody who wants to fight and argue on social media platforms. I don't recommend that. Your spiritual advisor, your minister, your priest, which is Jupiter in Taurus right now, is actually telling you, look at that 3rd house, okay? Media. Literally, in what house? Ruling the 10th and the 1st. Okay, so the media is telling you to show and represent yourself on social media in a new way. Be willing to actually, look at this. My copper just naturally became unchained. Jupiter is, no, I'm lying. Mars is represented by copper. And I just had my copper quartz just fall off my wrist. And it's told me unchained. So Pisces, you're in a space where you're feeling unchained in the public world. Unchained in a way where you're no longer run and governed by who you were, who your family told you to be, okay? You are unchained. You're a brand new person. You're stepping into an assertive understanding, and even in a way where, you know, you're using this violent energy of Mars and Capricorn in a way that achieves more, achieves greatness, but you gotta allow your 3rd eye to guide you. You need to allow your 3rd eye to guide you. That's the most important thing I have. If the minister is telling you, don't let the mind run so much. Allow the mind to structure, but and schedule and routine things, but don't allow yourself to operate from that egoic standpoint. Pisces, I think that's not that very hard for you, but what's happening is you're surrounded by a lot of people, and a lot of people equates to, you know, your spirit being influenced by a lot of motives, a lot of minds that you can pick up and read through clairvoyance, clairsentience. You can feel energy, and so you gotta be careful and not let what you feel become something that you fall too far away from. Respect and honor yourself, Pisces. You out there in the public world, you're winning right now, all right? So I got nothing but good news for you. You just winning. Like, go you, Pisces. Hip, hip, hooray.